I'm so this is the most women I've seen in a comedy show ever in my life. You guys, usually there's one woman and I make full eye contact with her the whole time, but now I can look at all of you. Okay, this is so exciting. My name is Tess. This is my story. This is Greg. That's his real name. The things that he had. Okay, so he was 6'4". We all know the trap. He had a job in sales or tech. I don't know, but that's kind of what he looked like. He was energetic. He made a plan, and he had the vein. Do you know the vein? Not this one. The vein. Do you know what I'm talking about? And like, if he played acoustic guitar, which he like kind of did, it like wiggled. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So we went on 3 dates, and there were 1,000 red flags. I'm gonna go through every last one of them. Date number one. Date number one was a walk date. I hate walk dates. Does anyone else hate? Like, I don't want to go on, maybe a bitch, but I'm not a dog, okay? I just don't understand. Okay, so we went on a walk date. The first block, he tells me how he signed up for a stand-up comedy class. Yes, it is brave to sign up for a stand-up comedy class. He did not go. However, he did read out loud to me his 5-minute set. If any man shows you his notes app, no, okay? I was like, wow, that's so cool that you do that. I do that too. I actually just say mine out loud and then I get paid for it. Okay. So his stand-up set was about how he got surgery because his testicles twisted. Does that happen?
That happens, and it's very serious. It's very serious.
It swells up, it's a mess.
It can make you sterile. I had a
Have
friend
his testicles twisted?
in high school. My friend got nut tapped so hard.
Is it like a tassel thing? Like you just, anyway. So his fidget spinner got undone. And his joke, we'll call it, was that he wished he stayed with his girlfriend longer so that she could help him through the surgery. Okay. Then he was telling about this group that he joined that was a gambling group. We'll get to that later. And he told me he had ADD and he was no longer, ADHD and he was no longer on his medication. So, okay. So date one, I was kind of like, okay, this is fun. Like, this could be good. This could be something. Date two. So we go to a stand-up comedy show at the Cellar. That's a good date night. Like that, I was kind of like, okay. And I'm a comedian, so like going to a comedy show is kind of like work. So it's not like great for me, but it is a good date. I won't knock that. At the stand-up comedy show, one of the comedians was like, is anyone single? And he was like, woohoo! Well, we were on the date! I was like, okay. And then he asked me why I wasn't laughing at the comedy show, which is like, okay, smile more, what? So I told him it was because like I do comedy a lot, I'm around it a lot, so like I'm just like analyzing, like I can see where the jokes are going. Okay, so then we went to a jazz club. I don't know what to do at a jazz club, truly have no idea. Like you can't talk to each other, you can't like sing along. Trust me, I've tried. You can't be like, so what's the relationship I like with your mom? So like, I just, no, seriously, you can't do that. So we just were at this jazz club. Anyway, at the jazz club, in a place where you can't talk. Like, you really can't talk to each other. He starts trauma dumping on me. And we're like surrounded by people who are like trying to like get it on. And he's like telling me about like a family member that attempted suicide. And I'm like, what is happening? So I was just like, okay, that's okay. Date three. Okay, so this is where it really heats up. It was Halloween. So he was out and I was out. And he was like, come meet up. We're getting drinks. So I show up. He's in a cop costume. Like a Reno 911, like the short shorts. And he was like, is this problematic? I said, for your thighs, but okay. You guys, your upper thighs, like they're not hot. Okay, anyway. So he's in this cop costume. That's important later. We're at the bar, super crowded. And we are at the front of the bar and he turns to me and he's like, he pulls out a wad of cash because that's all he has because of his gambling problem, remember? Okay. So he only pays in cash. Creepy. So he pulls out his wad of cash and he's like, if I wave this cash around, do you think the bartender will come over faster? I was like, no, I think that's really rude. Okay, so then we leave that bar. Oh, the other thing is we're with another couple that's like his friends. And I thought they were together for a while, but it turns out it was like their second date, so it was super awkward. Anyway, yeah, so this like new like double date, we leave and we go to a smaller bar where it's a little more quiet. Okay, so he goes to the bar to get more drinks. I'm sitting there. The other couple is like awkward and boring. And so I talked to this random woman, which I love doing. I love talking to random women. She's Australian, which is like exciting. So we're chatting it up and he comes over and he hears her accent. And he starts mocking. He's like, "Oh, are you from Australia?" Like, psych. Like, he was horrible at it. And she looked at him like this. And so I was like, "Hey, you shouldn't do that." Sometimes when you like imitate someone's accent, like it's like you're mocking them. It makes them uncomfortable. And he was like, "Uncomfortable? I've never felt that way." Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with my body either. It just happens. Okay, so then I explained to him. I was like, it's kind of like imitating someone's accent is kind of like when you sing happy birthday to someone. Like if someone sings happy birthday to you, you're like, it's like uncomfortable. I know you're trying to be nice and like connect with me, but like this is uncomfortable. He starts singing happy birthday in the bar to nobody. The whole song. And there's some notes that get kind of high up there. Also, guys, he's in a cop costume, so like there's just so much happening. So he sings it, comes back to me, he's like, "So yeah, you're right, that wasn't comfortable." I was like, "This is growth, this is good." Okay, so then we leave. And the other couple goes one way, we go the other way. And I'm like, I'm gonna go home. And he's like, "I'll make sure you get home." I was like, "Oh, it's okay." And then he was like, no, I'm definitely gonna make sure you get home. I was like, "Okay, I just need to get out of this." Anyway, so we're going down the subway and he decides to slide down the subway rail. Slide, and it like screeches because his legs are exposed. So he screeches down the subway rail, and I'm like, "Careful, careful, careful, careful." The minute a woman says careful on a date, you're done, okay? Because she is now your babysitter. I was like, "You can't do that. If you get hurt, I can't lift you out of the tracks." Okay, so then we're on the tracks. We're on like one side of the track. On the other side is the guy from the date. So there's the one guy, no girl. Greg goes, "Looks like someone's not getting lucky tonight." I turned to him and I was like, "You're not getting lucky either." Thank you. Thank you. And then he goes, "What? I took you to dinner. I took you to a show. You're gonna sleep with me?" And in my head I was like, I have a rule. I don't sleep with people I don't respect. So we go on the subway, and I was like, I just need to get out of this. So we're sitting there, and he's like, "We should go to a Broadway show." I was like, "Yeah, let's go tomorrow." So I kind of did lead him on. I also did, at one point, he tried to kiss me. I said, "I don't think I like kissing you." Anyway, it was like really awkward. And so the next day, I wake up, I send him a text. I was like, "Hey, I don't feel the romantic connection. You all know the one." He then asked for feedback. I know, like literally the same face. I was like, "Feedback?" I didn't even know where to begin. I truly did not know where to begin. And honestly, you guys, I did want to hurt him just a little bit. Like I wanted to hurt him, but I didn't want to like spend a lot of time crafting something. Like I just didn't have the mental energy. This was the feedback. He was like, "Hey, I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to grow. Like, I really appreciate it." I said, "It was the cop costume." Ha ha ha, kidding. I said, "Honestly, I just realized I wanted to go back to dating women." So I was like, I thought that was kind of like a savage line. Then he went, "LMAO, big win for the lesbian women. Good luck exploring your sexuality. Glad it wasn't a me thing. And glad you avoided a toxic relationship, LOL." Okay, so that's fuckboy Greg. What's my diagnosis? Bring it on.
I gotta say, I've hated a lot of the guys. But I don't know. I think
you're the
Tess,
fuck girl.
I think you're the fuck girl.
You're clearly the fuck girl in this situation.
Oopsie.
He took you to a comedy show. You didn't laugh. That's crazy. He introduced you to his friends immediately. That's nice.
Yeah, they were okay. Whatever.
He wore a cop costume because he's socially inept. Clearly, he asked for feedback. That's a good.
We don't have time for feedback, okay? There is therapy. You can pay for my hours and sign up on Calendly.
Hold on. Do you want to know something, ladies?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Well, now I'm scared.
Let me tell you something, ladies. Do you know all of this could be avoided if you just fucked him before you went out? Literally, if you just fucked the man before you went out on a date with him, then you wouldn't have to go through these horrible scenarios. And then you'd be like, okay, maybe we can go on a date. Look at gay men. Take notes.
Fuck boys, what's your
I mean,
diagnosis?
I'm not wrong.
Well, I think I'm the fuck girl. I think that's what
I
they
think
decided.
that, yeah, and you could have just been honest with him.
I should have been
I'm
honest.
on this guy's side.
Here's the thing.
Guys,
Here's
I'm
the thing. Do I think he's a fuckboy? I don't know if he's necessarily a fuckboy. I think he's a little bit of a narcissist or like there's
No,
something
he's just a
there.
golden retriever.
But hold on.
No
Here's
one
the
wants
thing.
to
Here's the
fuck a
thing.
golden retriever.
If he asks you for feedback,
Okay.
I think that is somewhat of a sign of like, oh, let me actually honestly get feedback of what's going on. First, but I will say though, I think that everything else was a red flag, so I say he's a fuckboy.
Okay.
Give it up for Tess,
Thank you.
everybody.